FlexSpaces is all about business, how we can make flexible leasings okay for you. And today we'll be talking about the pop-up space, how important it is, and how you can benefit from it, either as a space owner or someone looking for a pop-up space. So today with me is the founder and CEO of FlexSpaces, Mr. Tayo Ogurinde. I'll be talking briefly about the pop-up spaces, what it is, how it is important in today's Nigerian market, what is the need for you if you own or need a pop-up space. Good day, sir.
Good day.
All right. So, sir, in view of what FlexSpaces is, one of your main focus, or what should I say, one of your main selling points is actually the pop-up spaces.
Yeah.
So, what is the pop-up space and how is it beneficial in today's Nigerian market to business owners, small-time vendors, or SMEs in general?
Okay. It's lovely to be here today. So basically, I would say pop-up space is actually a temporary retail spaces whereby you create temporarily and you give your customers the experience they need. And this is something that I believe it has a great potential in the Nigerian economy today. Not because of anything, but if you look at the environment, basically, the cost of operations are increasing on a daily basis. And also, one thing you should realize is that when cost of operation is really increasing, your profitability tends to drop. So with that in mind, a lot of people have to find ways to get their business still profitable. And that is where the pop-up space comes in, really. So in terms of the potentiality, I would say it has a very huge potential. A lot of people are already imbibing it. It's just that only few still see the opportunity. And that's why FlexSpaces has come in to tend to link them between, to create a link between the demand and the supply, whereby we're trying to show people the opportunities for them to demand for more pop-up spaces, and while we also supply it from the point of the host listing different sort of pop-up on our platform.
Okay, wow, that's nice. So do we say that any location or every location can stand in as a pop-up space?
I would say yes and no. Yes, from the point of anybody can actually list anything to be a pop-up, but no, from the point of pop-up plays there's an important determinant for pop-up, which is footfall. Footfall. Now, why I mean footfall is this: if the location has an high footfall in terms of people going in and out of that area, then we could say that place has a huge potential to become a great pop-up. But if there's a low footfall, then that place might not have the best of potentials. So let me give you an instance. Now, there's a shopping mall whereby we have about 10,000 people entering that place and coming out on a weekly basis. That place has a huge potential because the tendency of me having a pop-up event there and somebody buying from me is much more huge than a location whereby we only have 10 people going in and out. So anybody can listen to be a pop-up, but it depends on the footfall at the end of the day. And not just any footfall, it depends on the target audience you're looking at. So for instance, what you've displayed is, you've displayed honey, okay? So if people are coming there are, let me use the word quote and unquote, more of the Gen Zs. Gen Zs, not everybody tend to imbibe honey. They will mostly imbibe sugar. So if you do a pop-up event there and it's more of Gen Zs going in and out of the area, that the footfall is high does not mean you still sell. So the footfall is dependent on also your target audience among the footfall going in and out of that location. So anybody can list it, but the footfall is an important pointer you have to look at.
So in terms of those who are looking for temporary locations where they can showcase their product, probably you've always made mention of people who come from, maybe they have a business outside a particular state, and they're coming to a new state to like launch a product or something.
Yeah.
Because nowadays we see a lot of empty spaces, empty commercial malls and a lot of things. What's your advice to the owners of such spaces? Do you think those places can be used as pop-up spaces and can be beneficial to them as business owners or property owners?
Yeah, my advice to them is learn to imbibe innovation. Because innovation is coming to stay, not to destroy businesses. Most people will be like, oh, I'd rather wait till I get somebody to rent the place in full. But the truth of the matter is, when it comes to property ownership, there are two ways you earn: appreciation and ROI. Appreciation means independent of anything happening in the property, based on the demand and the facilities around that location is appreciating in value. But while it's appreciating in value, you could also make money on it either monthly, yearly, daily, or annually, whatever you might call it. So, but most people be like, oh, I prefer the annual because I can collect the money in bulk and do something. But truth of the matter is, if you have a business or you have a location, I mean, just generating in terms of appreciation and there's no ROI, I see it as a wasted investment because it's a two-legged return on investment at the end of the day, appreciation and daily ROI or monthly ROI or yearly ROI. Now, I would say they should invite FLEXSPACEZ and test the waters because at the end of the day, like I said, technology is there to make your business better, not to disrupt your business. So I would say imbibe technology. While that location is still empty, you can also use it as pop-up event space, pending when you get somebody to rent the place either annually or yearly. But at the end of the day, note also this: if you do the calculation in terms of yearly rent and in terms of daily rent or monthly rent, you can also still see that there's a high potentiality that the amount you bought that place, you might make the money faster if it's on pop-up. And that's why it's similar to what's happening in the short-let apartment business right now, whereby you see people pushing their business more on short-let than the yearly rental because they would make the money using buying that property faster than if they do it annually. So I would say this is here to stay. This is here not to disrupt anything. It's just here to show you more opportunities how you can earn at the end of the day.
Okay, and how do you think it should be profitable to SMEs, people who are small business owners and who need these spaces?
Okay, it will be profitable from the point of them now knowing that, okay, I can start a business at the lower rate. So three things will be bound to happen at the end of the day. Number one, we have more people starting businesses because the cost of operation for starting a business is now low. Number two thing also is it brings room for innovation because to create an innovative business, for instance, you usually tend to delegate a lot of things. So let me say, for instance, you want to start selling, let's say, camera right now, for instance. Instead of you waiting from the point of, oh, let me get to a shop at Ikeja, for instance, and I stock it up and everything, you can start from the basic level. So which gives that room for more people starting up. Then the last thing I will say is this: the point at which people are chasing, waiting for them to have the full capital before starting a business will also reduce because now I don't have to have the full capital to start a business because number one, I'm not renting a shop for 1 year, 2 year or whatever. So I'm renting monthly and things like that. So this is a huge potential at the end of the day. And I see this becoming a very big thing in the next few months.
So any case studies or anything that you've heard of that has been beneficial to someone who has used the pop-up in recent times or in old times?
Yeah, there are different case studies to it really, but I think I will just give two case study. I'll use, let me start with this. So the first case study I'll give is, let's say example, Mr. Ola has a business in Lagos. And Mr. Ola, while in Lagos, also, Mr. Ola is into, let's say, he sells cameras. But while in Lagos, he has people also orders for camera in Abuja. Now, and he does delivery to them. So instead of Mr. Ola now saying, oh, I have customer base at Abuja, let me go and open at Abuja. Mr. Ola can simply do a pop-up event at Abuja first to say, let me see the kind of customers I have. Are they one-off customers or daily customers or things like that? So once he goes to Abuja, before he goes to Abuja, he would have announced to his customers and say, I'm coming to Abuja. While I'm at Abuja, we'll sell these cameras at this amount of money, discounted price. You can meet me one-on-one for consultation to discuss at length. While having that program, if he sees the opportunity and sees that this customer base I have here, I need to sustain it or else I'll be losing them, or this customer base is profitable for me, then he can now start a business at Abuja. So rather than the normal way he would have done it would have been, oh, he goes to Abuja, rent a shop, hire staff, stock up the shop, does everything. At that point, if there's a point at which he fails, it's going to be much more painful than the one-off one, okay? That is a typical experience. And it's not just inside of Nigeria alone. A business outside of Nigeria can also come do a pop-up event before they start fully. So it's something that is beyond just a sort of Nigerian thing, national thing alone, is international now. Now, let me give you another case study to it. Like, there was a time in which this is a reality, a real life story. So this lady, she's into the food business, whereby she gets orders from people. People wants to buy ugu, ewedu, yam, and everything. So usually what she does then is that she created a WhatsApp group whereby people will send her what they need. And once they send her what they need, this woman would collect order from Monday to Friday. Saturday, she goes to the market. Sunday, she supplies. But this is the issue. 10 people might order this week, one person might order next week. That's not a business. And it was leading to not being profitable. So what this woman simply did was she went around the location. This location I'm talking about is specifically Thomas Estate at Abuja. This lady went around there and looked for a key place at Thomas Estate whereby the footfall of that area was very huge. So what she does is that she goes to my 12, let's say, on Saturday, buys the goods and brings it there on Sunday. People tend to buy. So our business was just running once a week, which means 4 times in a month. But it was more profitable than if she rented a place on a monthly basis. So that's a clear example of pop-up space. Pop-up space does not mean it can be anywhere. It can be a shop, it can be front of a shop, it can be front of a mall, it can be in a mall, it can be anywhere. The most important thing as you who is renting it must look at is the footfall of my target audience there. Once you notice they are there, rent it.
So we've heard from the CEO and founder of FLEXSPACEZ. FLEXSPACEZ is a platform that brings you who owns these spaces and also brings those who need these spaces together. And the business of pop-up is something that everyone should imbibe, whether you're a small business owner or whether you're someone with an underutilized space. It could be a shopping mall where there are so many empty spaces. FLEXSPACEZ is here for you to list on and for you to rent on. So join the FLEXSPACEZ community today and start earning and renting.